Hello everyone, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. This is West High School color guard competition from 2022, but I was sent this video with a couple of questions, so instead of answering them in private, this is a really good opportunity for everybody to learn. Now, I will do all kinds of critiques that you don't even know about. I've done many private critiques, and many times I will go back to the individual and say, or individuals, the whole team, and I'll say, and so this critique wasn't requested by this team, it was requested by somebody else. But I will say, listen, your performance was fine. There are maybe some possibilities that you can improve here and there, whether regulation or exhibition, but it'd be really helpful if others could see this. And oh, well, if it could help others, then great. Anyway, that's not the case here. As far as the team asking me to do this, it was sent in by somebody else, but there are many instances where this critique is going to help others. Many. All right, so you can see from the very beginning. Now that right there. So from the very beginning, the colors are the staffs are non-standard sizes, and it looks like we have a possibly a maybe a 9'6", boy, possibly a 10-foot. Yeah, it actually looks like a 10-foot staff. I'm not exactly sure. This is so. Team West High School, your staffs are wrong. You need new staffs, and you either need to have the 9.5-foot staffs, or the and I was going to talk about flags as well, or the 8-foot staffs. I have a whole explanation of the requirements. This is in the Air Force instruction. It's not just me. Hey, this guy on YouTube just said that our staffs are wrong. No, the Air Force did, actually. The Air Force has specific requirements for staffs and the flags that you attach to them as well. You have 3x5 flags, and you're supposed to have 3x4, but anyway, reaching across, everybody, no, stop doing that. I know that it brings everybody together. It's not part of the rifle manual. Guards, stop doing that. We'll go back to here. Throat strap. Right there. I got a chin strap going, but that's definitely a throat strap. And that's not how you wear the how you wear it. Now this reach across right here, that's actually, nobody should be doing that. That's not a technique to bring the rifle up. It's not a technique to bring the staff up. All of the equipment here is brought up with the right hand and the right hand only. The staff is brought up to center and then seated in the harness socket. There's two ways to bring the staff up. Not going to get into that. Either the launch or the lift method. You're going to do the lift method. Rifles, you're going to bring the rifle across and meet the left hand at the port position. It's not port arms, but it is the port position. And turning the rifle like that, you don't turn the rifle and then place it on. It's one smooth motion coming across. High schools cannot perform ceremonial movement in competition. Now, if you're going to, and see, this is the problem with the Air Force and now Space Force. You can learn ceremonial movement and perform it any other time. At a competition, you can't. So then why would the color guard learn two different methods and then potentially mix them both up and screw up at a competition? Or a colors presentation. Way too slow. And you're out of timing. So the timing here, it's interesting. I stop it when all of the feet are out. This looks like it's perfect timing. The timing is so there's two there's a specific part of timing. It's called phase. The team is out of phase, while the feet are the proper feet. You're in step, you're out of phase, and that means that the feet hit at different times, even if it's just slightly different times. So interesting. Why isn't the color guard, or at least the guards, swinging their arms? That's because they're marching shoulder to shoulder, which is not authorized. And they also speed up for their wheel movement. And here we have another throat strap. So the bringing the rifle out, I saw this constantly when I was at what I was just judging in Alabama. I saw bringing the rifle out, bringing the hand up, twisting it, and then dropping it. Well, we had a slight drop with the left rifle guard, just slight, and then we've got the hand flare coming out there. I mean, you've been taught wrong. Maybe you had a member of a base honor guard come over and teach you. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly where West High School is. It might be. Well, I'm not even going to guess. Anyway, there could be an Air Force base nearby, and you have a base honor guard member come out and try and teach you colors, but it's not going to work, because what they know is ceremonial drill. And if you were taught by an airman and this is the result, then they don't know ceremonial drill all that well. So you're required to perform by the regulation. So this is 2022. What a terrible salute there, Sarge. Since when do we swing the arm out? And also, judges, don't salute during the whole report in. That's not what you're supposed to do. You salute after you accept, you receive the report in, and then you pretty much say, okay, I've received your report in. That's the whole point. Stop saluting the whole time. So, no, I'm not going to. I could go on about the hand positions and the rifle positions. They're just too high, especially left guard. Holy cow, left guard! Your right arm is practically at the elbow's at a right angle, and that's and then you're pushing your wrist behind the rifle. You're trying to push bring your hand flat and flare it so that it's straight forward like this and not angled downward like it's supposed to be, but also wrapped around. There's just so much. You've done a poor job, honestly, with your training. Whether whether the team did the training or whether you brought somebody in, this is just a poor example. And so I'm tending to think that this is order colors, and then you're coming back in 3 counts there, California Bearer. The 3 counts is not the technique that we're looking for. 1 count out, 1 count back. And then guards, this is really poor. I mean, really poor. You're holding the rifle out here and then turning it and then bringing it back, and your elbow is up. Honestly, you're not.
Colors reverse. Arch.
Oh, colors reverse. Here we go. This is. I'm sorry, team. Honestly, but you've got some really bad techniques going on here. So See how you speed up through the colors reverse? That looked like colors reverse, but it's not colors reverse. Judge, they're more concerned with other things than the actual performance. What are you doing, Judge? Your eyes should be on the team. So the colors reverse, all you did was flanks through there. It should be faces in marching. And I know that there are so many who have no idea what colors reverse is actually supposed to be, how it's. I get it, because I've been told that. Oh crud! Oh, okay, there we go. I've been told, but that there are several organizations that have that use the guidance of this colors reverse. So colors reverse and counter march look like they should be exactly the same, and technically they should. Grip here, their guard. It looks like they should be the same, but they're not. The Army wrote the colors reverse with a face in march for all of the positions. The Marine Corps wrote the counter march with flanks in it. Now there's a slight similarity there, but the slight similarity is pretty much at the beginning, and that's it. Honestly, the counter march goes through, has the trail guard trailing behind the in this case the state flag, but it's faces in marching that are supposed to happen, not flanks, not right flanks. Now the right rifle guard is going to flank. It's because the left flank is also a left face in march. It's the same thing. It's just called something a little different. But the face in, or the colors reverse with flanks is not the not appropriate. So this mark time here, see if I can catch. There we go. So not only is the mark time inconsistent throughout the entire team, the almost all of the feet look like they're being brought up, especially right rifle guard. Holy cow, your ankle knee here. And ankle knee is not the technique. Now, again, I'm tending towards some base honor guard member came in and taught you what what he or she thought was supposed to happen, and it's not even close. Not even close. So the Air Force measures the mark time height in the most ridiculous manner. 4 inches off the marching surface. Well, 4 inches, okay. That sounds pretty decent. All right, we can just look for the toe being 4 inches. Or is it the heel? Well, no, it's neither. It's the ball of the foot. So how can you easily recognize the ball of the foot from a distance and know that it's 4 inches? That's ludicrous. So if it's the ball of the foot that comes up 4 inches, that's about 4 inches. If it's the ball of the foot, then, and if the toe or the foot is naturally hanging, which it's supposed to do, you're not supposed to point your toe down, not supposed to flare your toe up or keep it flat, natural hang, just like you see here. If that's the case, then the ball of the foot, or the toe rather, is only coming up about an inch, maybe 2. So why did you reach over on the order? There's no technique that requires you to reach, to bring the left hand to the socket. So you're also shoulder to shoulder. Now, this tells me that a base honor guard member didn't come in because he or she would have had you separate on the halt, but you stayed shoulder to shoulder, and now you don't have any place to put your equipment. You're going to run into each other. At least you didn't dip the colors. That was good. But your judges, what are you doing? Boy. Wow. Judges are not trained.
Hold on, ten, heavy,
No. Stop doing that. Oh, that was. There's a much easier technique. Commander, you're wearing your cover practically on the back of your head there. It should be much farther forward, just like this young man right here.
oh, hard,
Oh, did you separate? Wait. I didn't think you separated.
hard,
And you step in. You separated at the halt. And then you came back shoulder to shoulder on the first couple of steps, which is a ceremonial technique. Both of them are. And you're not authorized to do them.
oh, hard.
You should be marching at close interval and standing at close
Right
interval.
heel, hard. Oh, hard.
You're also stomping through your half step. You should be heel striking through that. Well, it's a metered step. It's not necessarily a half step for the wheels. Oh, yeah, definitely. Holy cow, Commander. You're just slamming those heels in. You should execute a left face in march, take a step, then rotate, but you're staying in place and rotating, forcing the rest of the color guard to come around you when both color bearers are actually supposed to change places. It's not an exact change of places or placement, really, but you do cross over a bit, and so this is not... yeah, you're not performing it properly at all, really. But the heel strike, it's not even a heel strike; it's a heel stomp. It's like a herd of cattle going through the center of town. It's the toe leaves last, the toe strikes first. If you're doing this to keep your timing, then you need more practice. Technically. The heel stomp is not appropriate, and neither is the stomp through the wheel movements. It should be a heel strike, but not a stomp. So you strike through, which then causes the guard to look different from the rest of the team, because the guard is going to toe strike,
Oh, hard.
since in this case he would stay in place.
Eyes, right.
What was that command there, team? Eyes right. What are you doing, guards? You're going to present arms? Was the command present arms? Do we ever present arms when we're marching in formation? No. The command was eyes right. What do you do at eyes right? You turn your head and eyes to the... Let me think about that. Oh, yeah, to the right. Except for the right rifle guard. The Army, Air Force, and Space Force has the commander also turn the head. The Marine Corps and Navy and Coast Guard have the commander keep the head forward because it's a type of salute, which I understand. So the American flag doesn't offer a salute, and the American flag bearer doesn't salute.
Hard.
Stomp, 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 stomp.
Hard.
Yeah, Commander, your heels are just, you're stomping through that.
Left heel, hard.
Stomp, 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 stomp. Now, look at that left wheel. One of the things I've noticed since I've been judging colors for so long, and mostly colors, one thing I've noticed is that there's a big tendency. You can see my cursor. I'll put it right here. There's a big tendency to have a weak left wheel but a strong right wheel, because right wheels you constantly do them. There's only a couple of left wheels, and then that's it. There's more right wheels. So the right wheel tends to be much stronger, much more precise. The left wheel tends to be weaker. Now, the rotation point tends to also slip to over here with the left guard moving backwards. Now watch the team here. Watch the left guard. He should be staying right there, right in front of the camera moved. But he should have been staying right in front of where his feet were, but he moved backwards. So that means the rotation point moved over and actually probably moved over towards the center, which is a ceremonial wheel movement, which is not authorized.
Left wheel. Arch. Oh boy. Arch.
And you can see all the feet are at different heights throughout the whole movement there.
Mark time. March. Color guard. Oh. Reset. Colors. Sir. Merrill F. West High School.
So,
United States Air
oh crud.
Force.
Come on,
Reserve,
get out of the way there,
Training
flag.
Corps. Unit CA 20. Sir.
There. Of course.
Colors.
So, a little bit of a shadow there, but you can see the hand is flared straight forward. This hand here, right rifle guard, wrapped around the stock, doesn't look to be wrapped around the stock over here for left, but also the wrist it has this big angle in it. That's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a neutral wrist. But yeah, that's a flare forward there. And actually, it could be a flare as well for the right rifle guard. Not exactly sure, but this is not the correct salute position.
Order! Colors! Colors inverse! Arch! Colors inverse! Arch!
Commander stepped back.
Order! Colors! Colors inverse! Arch!
The commander stepped backwards. Oh boy. You were trained improperly, which results in in performing improperly, and I don't know who trained you. Whether you did this all on your own or or had somebody come in. I'm not sure. But that's not proper technique at all. You barely show proper technique in just about anything. Like coming up and out and over. Not necessary. And also, when you fall out, colors, when you fall out, just step away. Don't step backwards. Don't about face. A color guard never marches to the rear either. So don't do any of that. When you just, for different things, whatever your organization chooses. But for colors, you can say whatever, that's fine, but don't step back, don't about face, don't do anything like that. I don't know what's next, so I'm not going to get into that, but that's this critique here, which has been 25 minutes for a 5.5 or 6 minute performance. So there's much wrong here. And if you look in the comments of this video, somebody commented, "Oh, you need to learn Army techniques better." They need to learn techniques, period. So now that it's 2023, Air Force, excuse me, Air Force JROTC has come out with this blanket switching of forget all of your Air Force standards, just throw them away. Just completely disregard everything the Air Force has ever done, and we're just going to go with a pseudo Army standard. That's it. Just, okay, good, no problem, everything's fine. And obviously that doesn't sit well with me. We have lost our Air Force-ness, honestly. It just doesn't really seem to matter to some. Anyway, so enough of my going on about that. Team West High School, really, you've got to revisit the manual. And now that it's all just blanket Army standards and no Air Force standards at all, then the techniques are going to come from Training Circular 3-21.5. And you've got to get a hold of that proper training, proper technique. Hardly anything I saw here was even proper Air Force technique for back in 2022. So lots of work ahead for the team. So, all right. Thank you very much for watching.